Honestly, you know what? I don't. Oh, I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Hello. Here we are.
I
Oh,
got
it went to the
excited.
dynamic scene right away. Perfect. Didn't even have to click anything this time. Amazing. Welcome to Rokk Players, everyone. It's another Thursday, so it's another show. Hope you're all doing well. We have some lovely guests with us today. We have to my bottom, Ray.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Ray. To the left of Ray, we have Rokk. To the left of Rokk, we have MM2K.
Yo.
Above Rokk, MM2K, we have Doragon. Welcome.
Hey.
And right in the middle above Rock's head, we have Vet. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Hello.
I just noticed that too. Rog, you look like a floating head on the song.
I am a floating head.
On the YouTube channel.
I'm like Mimimar, or whatever his name is, on Ragnarok. Yeah,
You're Mimir, yeah.
I didn't notice it until I looked over, and it's just all I see is just your head
I'm
and
the,
no
I'm
body.
the wisest man in whole of Alfheim, or whatever it's called. That's
Oh,
right.
that's great.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So yeah, guys,
No.
welcome to the show. Before we get into the nitty-gritty stuff, how are you guys? What have you been playing this week?
I've been packing.
You've been packing as usual.
That's not what I've
Well,
heard.
I say that, but somebody called me out and like, you've been saying that for 5 weeks. I bet all you've been doing is eating snacks and playing video games and watching YouTube. And I was like, shut up. Tell my
Don't say
secret.
that.
Don't say it out loud and get me to repeat it. No, I've been gaming here and there. I did some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Gotham
Okay.
Knights. I've lost track of everything else that I can play. I've been trying to decide on what to play, and I have way too many games to choose from. That's my biggest problem, is trying to, like, I have my schedule, but it's then what I want to play, and then I'm looking like, all right, I'm going to play this one, and I was going to do BioShock Infinite yesterday, and then I ended up playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Because I'm like, all right, I got like these 6 games I want to play, but I also want to try that one. And I was scrolling through this list on the platforms that I use: PlayStation, Xbox, Cloud, Boostroid, all of them. And I'm like, I don't even have time for this. I don't know what I'm gonna have to just stick with one game from now on, and that's it.
Do you only,
Hogwarts.
do you only play the games that you stream, or do you play offline as well? Because some guys don't. Some just do the.
No, I don't. I rarely ever play video games offline anymore now.
Interesting.
Now, since I became a content creator and I started streaming, that's when I stopped. Occasionally I do, but it's very rarely, which I find. I had somebody else ask me that when I thought about it. I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess I don't play games anymore as much as I used to.
Yeah, no. Some people don't. Some people.
Rokk, I want to apologize to Rokk. I know I said I was going to wait till the 10th to play Hogwarts.
Yeah, man, let me down.
I've been watching too many reviews, too many plays, so I had to get the digital deluxe. I am in love with that game. That game is, I love that game so much.
What'd you get it on PC, or did you get it for console?
I got it for PC. I got it on Steam. Got my Steam key, loaded it up, hopped on, played.
I'm gonna do it first. So you're enjoying it? I've been watching Link play it, and a few others here and there. Mostly Link, because I'll start watching him, and then when I go to bed, he's still playing it like 5 hours later. I'm like,
yeah, but he really gets into it as well when he streams.
Oh yeah, I know. That's
works every
he's been
angle
like that
out.
with, I know. I'm like, that's the difference. If you want the smart players, go to Link. If you just want
the dumb players, wait till Vet buys it.
Yep.
Don't have me calling me a dumb player, Vet.
No, I was going to direct that towards myself, but no, my wife's going to get me that game tomorrow for my anniversary gift, and then I'm going to start checking it out on Monday.
Nice.
Ray, so you give it a thumbs up, my friend. Do you give it a big 10 out of 10?
I give it 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
I
Nice.
love the game.
I did hear someone. Yeah, I did hear a Swedish podcaster say that this is his in his top 10 games of all time.
Really?
Wow.
And he's not even a Harry Potter fan.
No.
That just means it's really well made, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. They said most of them, everybody that I've seen has said 8.5 to 9, and they said it would have been a hands down 10 if it had had
I've seen a few reviews giving it. I've seen a few. I've seen it getting 9 3/4.
I don't even crank it up to full settings. I'm not even cranking it up to full settings, and it still looks stunning and beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well done.
Kudos to those developers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been a passion project for them for quite some time. I mean, like their previous games were things like Disney Infinity and the Cars 3.
Well, it set a record on
so, like,
Twitch
Yeah, it said
for
I
the
think
most
it even
watched.
said,
I think it was the most streamed game on Twitch. It had like 1.2 million players
Well,
or
John-
viewers, one or the other.
viewers. Yeah, 1.2 million.
John Scar went out on the 6th, so it was the day before the official deluxe release with a
Yeah,
Steam
so
Deck
the press
stream.
release there.
Within 12 hours, he'd had over 7,000 views. I mean,
Wow.
just smashing
Well,
it. Yeah.
everybody's been looking for people that are streaming it on YouTube, and I think from what I've seen, almost everybody that's been playing it is on Twitch. But I think it's mostly just because Twitch is doing all the Twitch drops or whatever the benefit is for it. But yeah, like it broke every record. I think it broke all the records on Steam as well.
Yeah, and it's so. I think it's the last time a game was topping the sales charts a month before release, which Hogwarts has been doing for well over a month. That was Red Dead Redemption 2 Steam release.
Wow.
And before that, it's like you have to go back another couple of years before you find it. Like it's a very rare thing. So like even before the game's out, even before the early access window's out, like this game was already one of the biggest sellers of the year.
Well, yeah, even with the controversy surrounding just the brand, I don't want to say the game itself because it's not. It's tied with
it's
the author is the controversy.
But it's still with the author of the books. Even with that, it's still blowing past any all of the expectations.
Well, I've heard a lot of streamers have been getting a lot of abuse. I just think that's ridiculous. I really do.
They bullied girlfriend reviews off stream.
Really?
One of the nicest streamers out there, raising money for trans rights at the time, and she was bullied off stream.
We'll see how well this does when I stream it, and we'll see if it really is.
I can't see anybody bullying you off stream, bro.
I know.
Put that out there right now.
I wasn't talking about the bullying part. No. I wasn't talking about bullying. I was talking about if the views are like that for everybody, because we'll see if I don't get those views, then we know.
I think it will be. I think like any coverage of this game will perform well, like you, as long as you don't get like hidden amongst everything.
If I don't get those kind of views, it's rigged. The whole system's rigged.
We have
anyone else been playing
anything
fun this week?
Been playing.
Yeah, I was just saying. Anyone else been playing something fun this week? Dorian, what about you?
Been playing bits of everything. I've been diving back into Arkham Asylum recently, the remastered one for last generation. Such a good game.
Amazing.
And it reminds you of how bad most games being made nowadays are when you go back to like a PS3, Xbox 360 era game, and it's still that good. Weekly Destiny stuff. I've been playing a lot of Splitgate and trying to get as much Knockout City in as I can before the poor thing closes down. One of my favourite free-to-plays, and it's closing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you been getting the old keyboard out?
Yeah, speaking of keyboard, I just right before we went live, I've got this weird fascination now with RGB mechanical keyboards. So you have to excuse me if you hear all this loud clicking.
Beautiful.
My wife's going to kill me. This is like the third one I bought in a week, but
she doesn't understand the joys of that kind of
Just make sure they're all connected up so she can't say you don't use them and don't need them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Well, no one. If you knew my wife, she would find an angle to work against me. Like, what's that doing for a light bill? What's the light bill like now? Yeah. No, I've been playing I want to say Division 2 because that's my go-to, but they completely screwed that up.
What?
Yeah, it's something with they didn't have everything prepped for the next season in time. And normally when that happens, they'll throw in some special events because the bare game alone is very dry for veterans. And they said, "Oh, we screwed up so bad, we can't even do that." So that's a barren wasteland right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, real bad. And I hope
hang
people
on,
come
let me
back
just get
afterward.
that next nail for Ubisoft here.
No, don't be doing that.
I know.
Is that have they actually pulled out the new season MM, or is that they were going to?
They're delaying it. Yeah,
Right,
they
okay.
pushed it back, which that part of it I understand, but
Yeah.
the thing that keeps people interested until that new season comes with the pushbacks are like the global events, a little different special events. Because again, the beer game we've already done over a billion times.
Yeah.
And them not, and they said, "Oh, we messed up the core of the game so bad we can't even do that for you." So,
Wow.
I've been playing some Cyberpunk. That game is still awesome.
Yep.
And I've been playing a lot of Forspoken, even though that's not in the cloud. I've been playing a lot of that because everyone's having fun with Hogwarts. And again, I've spent all my allowance on mechanical keyboard, so I'm pretending that I'm playing Hogwarts. I'm living vicariously through Forspoken. So
I think it's
You're
on
still
it's on
firing
Boostroid.
stuff
isn't
out
it?
your hands, aren't you?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's on Boostroid, isn't it, Vet? For Spoken?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not.
No,
I
it's
don't-
not. Well, not the
No,
official way. But let's face it, if it's on Steam, it's on Boostroid. Let's be honest here.
Well, I'm not. I don't know anything about that.
He is not at liberty to discuss.
I can neither
I know
confirm nor
nothing.
deny anything
Yeah.
of such talk.
Oh, super.
Playing anything fun?
Oh no, you've gone all Daleki on us, Bjorn.
Better now? Yeah, it should be better.
That's
now.
better.
Rokk and Ray,
That's
have you been
something.
playing anything fun?
Ray, what have you been playing, my friend?
Lots and lots of Hogwarts. Once again, love that game. That's my game of the year right now. I thought it was going to be Forspoken.
Yeah.
But I have to give it to Hogwarts. Been playing a lot of Dying Light 2 because they had the new DLC stuff. So I've been streaming that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And then Battlefield with my friend.
you've been playing
And
Marvel
Snap. And we did Marvel. We actually SPG did a Marvel Snap stream, and
I saw.
it was very fun. Had lots of fun playing that.
Among Us as well.
Yeah.
I
There you
should
go.
get into playing Among Us with you guys at some point. My son has been pestering me like, "Dad, do you play Among Us anymore?" Like, I love the game, but no, I don't. He's like, you have to play it.
It's just the time people organise it, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm going to do it at precisely dinner time in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
The only-
that's.
the
I
only
guess
thing
that is
that
an
works.
issue, isn't it? I mean, you can play it. You can play with UK guys, I guess. But if you, this is the problem with our American friends on.
I don't know.
time
We get
difference.
we get David Wilson in there, and I mean, this
Wilson,
guy's sleep.
Wilson doesn't
guys
count.
sleep?
Wilson,
Yeah,
Wilson. You
Wil-
can't count Wilson. I don't even think he's real. I think he's an android.
Wilson operates in a completely different quantum universe to the rest
He's.
of us.
Yeah.
I think he operates in the Wilson time zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They created one just for him.
Yeah, like quantum leap.
Yeah.
Look in the chat.
Guys,
Hoping his
Before
next leap will
we-
be his leap home.
Yeah.
before we jump into the show, guys, just the regular housekeeping. Let's see if we can.
Oh, look, Dorrigan's going to do it. Nice.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Dorrigan,
Nice,
nice.
sweet.
Yeah.
You're
He
yeah,
said,
no.
all right.
Well, yeah,
So, yeah.
tomorrow's the big
Giveaway time.
Hogwarts giveaway on my channel. So you've
18
got
hours left.
18 hours left to get your winnings in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll be there. That's on any platform, so you can have it on any platform of your choice, plus 60 days of pretty much any sub-service as well that you want to add into the mix.
Now, that's a good deal.
That's hopefully. And then The Last of Us Part 1 is at the end of March. They pushed that out from the beginning of March, so that's now a giveaway for the end of March. And then at the end of April, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So there's the month's worth of giveaways there.
Yeah, and also it's now we're getting ever so closer to the big charity event that I'm organizing. So mark your calendars for February 24th through 26th if you haven't already for a bunch of mental health streams raising money for mental health organizations around the world. With
be I'll be out of town.
How many how many content creators are in so far? Bjorn?
right now it's let's see here, 16 something I think.
Excellent.
But also know that Lo-Fi has gathered a lot of people within the CGTV brand to
Brilliant.
do some co-streaming together. So it might be even more than that.
Oh, that's cool. But you've got something like 400 giveaways or something, haven't you?
Yes, I recounted them recently, and it's like 310. But right now, but I do have some publishers that have said they're going to contribute, but haven't replied with the keys yet. So
that's so
it might
cool.
be, so 300 plus easily games being given away.
So anybody that is involved in it, you will be giving them prizes to give away.
Exactly. I'll be divvying up into two categories. We have the games that have been gifted to the event by the publishers.
Mm-hmm.
Those will be for essentially randomly given out among donors. So if you donate to any of the participating campaigns, you are in the drawing for all of these like 50 or so games that publishers have given.
So cool.
Awesome.
And the other than 250 will be that are from mostly from already exists, humble backlog, but also some from my own. Those and I mean there's everything from random indie titles you've never heard of in there to things like Arkham Asylum.
There you go.
That's a good game.
Mentioned earlier. So anything like high and low in there, and those will be essentially. We'll see how many streamers we are. We will divvy them up amongst ourselves, and then whenever a streamer reaches a certain threshold, they run a giveaway.
Awesome.
The winner then essentially wins a spin of the wheel, and then we'll see what they like. It's a random game they get from that list.
I might just buy them as a job lot for my wheel giveaways, mate. To be honest, just save all the hassle.
I did like your singing ability, watching the wheel spin.
Yeah,
you should be on one of them talent shows because it was pretty good.
I've got to tell you, I've got my next singing lesson next week. I'll let you know how it goes.
But with that out of the way, let's move on to the news. Before I do though, if you are a streamer watching this and want to be part of this, just reach out to me and I'll get you on board.
I mean, come on, they let me on the show, so
yeah,
anybody can be on it.
News-wise, GFN launches 3 new games this week. That's pretty much the news, if I remember correctly. Nothing more than that.
Nice and quick, just in and out.
No. However, it should be noted that one of the games is Baldur's Gate 3, which, in my opinion, is the best game ever made, period. Full stop. That's it.
I like how you went both sides of the Atlantic there with the period and the full stop.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
No.
I just want to underline it as well.
Exactly. If you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, it is so incredible.
I tried
There's nothing like it.
I tried it, but for about 5 minutes, and then I quit because
you need to give it a couple of hours.
I love the game.
I enjoyed watching Ray, like when SPG would stream, and I would love watching him, Ray, and because usually all I would hear is them yelling at Callie Bet would get yelled at constantly for doing something. So I was like, oh, this is what it's like when I'm playing games with everyone and I get yelled at.
You played a lot of it. You've played a lot of it with William and David, haven't you, Ray?
Yes, I did, and me personally, I'm very happy that it's coming on GFN because now it's a huge file that I don't have to store on my PC. I can play
it's a big game.
So, yeah,
and I think it's a big game. It takes up a lot of storage space, but also that's just 1/3 of the game. The other 2/3 is coming like in August.
Exactly, in August.
It's not so far down the road now then.
No, it's getting close.
Yeah.
And they're keeping wraps on things.
It's been in early access for about 3 years, hasn't it? I think.
Yeah, 2020, I think it was.
Yeah.
Tail end of 2020.
It will be by the time it launches, anyway.
Yeah. So Baldur's Gate is amazing. Simple as that. Best game I've ever played. Period.
But what about that?
What
about the other game that's coming out on xCloud in Feb?
Yeah, that's the best game I played last year.
Oh, okay, fair enough. We'll get to that.
But yeah, we'll get there. We're also getting Recipe for Disasters free on Epic Games, and it's joining GeForce Now. So claim that. I'm guessing even crazier Overcooked or something. I haven't really taken a look at it.
It actually
more of a 3D Overcooked. It's just as carnage. It's good fun.
I think you can also create your own menus and your waiting
fun.
stuff, and it's kind of got a management aspect to it as well.
Yeah, so it's free. Why not? Claim it, play it.
It
Give it a
is.
try.
It was £15, or I guess somewhere around €18, $18. So it's still
Yeah.
it's a good little value.
Yeah, not really loading the picture here, but whatever.
Can somebody please explain to me what is inside the back rooms? Because that sounds kind of like a weird kind of.
It's a kind of horror game, but you know what, Ray? It's only $5 on Steam, so don't get your hopes up too high. But it is it has about 24,000 very positive reviews. So yeah, you don't want to be up inside your back room in any other way but playing this game.
Yeah, it's a horror multiplayer game mixed with different mechanics that will make you spend an intense night with friends. Explore, think, interact, be careful. It's rumored that there are several entities wishing to find you.
So essentially, it's this show in a video game.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's exactly what Ray thought it was.
Yeah. Moving on to xCloud. Game Pass is getting 6 new games. 5 of them is coming to cloud.
Hang on, only 5 out of 60.
6 games coming.
6. Sorry,
coming to Game Pass this week.
Beg your pardon.
So Madden is only console or PC, because for some reason EA doesn't want to put their sports games on xCloud. Don't know why.
I mean, it's Madden, so
yeah, they should put them on xCloud though. But maybe one day. We're getting City Skylines, the remastered edition for the Series S and X is coming to xCloud as well. The console edition is, the controller support is decent for what it is, but it's still a game you generally don't want to play with a controller. In my opinion. But it's still, City Skylines is one of my favorite games as well. It's a really, really great game. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition. Let's scroll down a little bit.
It's a good game, but I haven't finished
Madden,
it.
Shadow Warrior 3. Have anyone played that?
No.
Shadow Warrior 3. I have.
I did.
I got to one part. I might be towards the end. I'm not really sure. I picked it up on GFN. I played for quite a while. I rage quit, and I've never played it since because I couldn't get past them all.
Kind of every game you've ever played, let's be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So that's
but it's a good game though. If you like crude humor and violence, that's pretty much the entire Shadow Warrior franchise.
Ray, what did you think of it?
In your face, jumping around. It's a crazy first-person shooter game.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was I thought it was okay. Thought it was all right.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have Game Pass, it's free starting February 16th. Atomic Heart, day one release on Game Pass.
This looks so good.
That's on my list.
It's one of apart from Hogwarts, I think it's the biggest release of February.
Wow.
It's definitely one of the most anticipated.
Yeah, exactly. So that's on the 21st. City Skylines on the 15th. This is my Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is going on Valentine's Day, and that is it's my game of the year last year.
You loved this
last
game,
year,
didn't you?
yeah.
You
Last
really
year
loved
it exited. They left early access last year. It's now fully released, and with that came console release in November. So it's 4 months after release, and it's now coming to Game Pass. And it's try it out because it's so good. It's basically a massive sandbox game. You have a medieval world, fantasy, low fantasy medieval world. You are just one guy. You ride around on this massive map. You go from village to village, recruit some villagers to join your mercenary group, and eventually you start having quite a big army, and then you just they level up, you level up. This is also an RPG. There's also a strategy game. There is diplomacy going on. Whenever you move on the world map, so does everything else on the world map. All the other lords. There's declarations of war happening. There's trading happening all over the world, being simulated constantly. And then whenever you run into someone, you enter into a battlefield, and you play basically an action game with directional combat aiming. So you have to aim your sword or axe to the different directions, and the same with blocking. And the best thing about it is it supports up to 1,000 units on screen at one time. Wow. So you can have battles of 500 versus 500. which
Oh,
is
individual
just epic.
real players like PvP.
In multiplayer, there's a multiplayer mode where you can just do
Yeah.
battles, and in there, I think the record that they've done so far is 250 versus 250 players.
Crikey.
But they have but in the if you play the single player, it's like 500 NPCs in one end, all being simulated, all doing trying to take out their enemy. On the other side, you have 500 more, and then just smash them into each other. It's it's so satisfying to be in front of your cavalry charge with 50 knights straight into a 200 archers just standing there firing arrows at you. There's something so satisfying about that. It's Don't sleep on this game. It's the best game that was released last year, in my opinion.
Fair play. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, and I mean free with Game Pass. I think the console controls is decent, so you can definitely get used to it. I prefer the PC version, but then SD Gundam Battle Alliance, Gundam action RPG, where you can smash foes solo or with friends.
Nice.
Coming today. Probably not going to try that myself, but anyone else?
Can't argue with a bit of Gundam, can you?
Yeah.
Fair play, fair play.
Wasn't that song that came out a while back from Korea?
Oh mate, Gundam is in every.
Are you thinking Gangnam Style?
Yeah.
Gundam style.
They are very different.
That's what I was thinking of.
One is a giant space robot with lasers and rockets and such, and the other one is a guy dancing.
That's the fella. Which one made the most money, though? This is the question.
The guy dancing.
So yeah, that's coming to xCloud. Also coming to xCloud or Xbox. Reported, I don't have a link for this, but I did see some rumors. Someone spotted a listing on the Xbox Store for Ubisoft Plus. So I'm guessing that's kind of close now.
I mean, does that not surprise us though? I mean, Ubisoft is basically.
No, we knew it was coming.
Right. I mean,
closer than ever.
It'll be nice. It's just one more platform for them to be on, have their catalog on. But it'll be interesting to see if it's going to be the same side. You know, the games, the collection. Is it going to be the same as what's on PlayStation?
Considering they're calling it Ubisoft Plus, I'm assuming it's going to be anything that Ubisoft has published on Xbox.
Nice.
And I'm also assuming, since when anyone who subscribed to the All Access version, which being I signed up before they introduced that, so I'm technically on that with the founders tier.
Right.
Should include, so technically I think I should be getting all of the Ubisoft games on Xbox starting whenever they launch this automatically.
As far as
only downside is I don't have an Xbox, but I mean.
Yeah, as far as I understand with Ubisoft Plus, it's cross-platform. Whether your saves jump across platform, that's a different matter. But you pay that one subscription, you can play it wherever.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, the saves are cross-save as long as the game came out after December 21. So whenever Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, it's Far Cry 6.
It's three big games and a couple of small ones.
I found that out the hard way with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, that's why I haven't.
That I did not realize that, so I had to do a crap ton of back downloads and uploads.
Just a minor 100 hours again.
Yeah.
No, I found a loophole, and I taking save files from one platform and adding them to Steam and then syncing, and it was a lot of work, but I carried it over so I didn't have to start all over again.
Done.
That would have been 50, 60, I don't know how many hours.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's
too
impressive.
Much.
I mean, I love the game. I love Cassandra as a protagonist, but I haven't had it hard to go back in, really.
No.
It's been
I love that game. That's the one that I'm working on completing everything. I wanted every single side, everything done.
I got as far as the end of the first episode of the first DLC, and it just bored the ever-living crap out of me. It was too much.
I reckon about the same for me as well, actually.
But you guys have, if you want to go back and play it, but play it like I do.
I did last year.
You'll never be bored. You will never be bored if you play a game the way I do.
You play it like Rain Man. There's a big difference.
I think I'm pretty sure that I've broken Odyssey into a village, and the NPCs all just start grabbing weapons out of nowhere and attacking me. before I've even done anything.
Well, they
That's
do that
just
already.
Ubisoft
Pretty
design,
sure
mate.
that's not supposed to happen.
That's just Ubisoft design. It's nothing to do with you.
No, it happens to him everywhere he goes. Reddit, down the mall. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
people just walk outside and there's NPCs just showing up.
Yeah.
Okay, it might be you.
Might be. Yeah, moving on. Did anyone of you guys watch the Nintendo Direct?
I did.
Oh,
I did
yes.
not. I just watched it. I watched it on Twitter because as soon as something came out, it was available to see on Twitter. So
Yeah, it was. I caught up with it afterwards this morning.
I was gonna live stream it, but I didn't want to piss off Nintendo.
I mean,
Uh,
you've got the new subscription that allows you to play older games. And they're putting, interestingly, Bjorn, they're putting the new Zelda out in the States for an extra $10 above what they charge for the last Zelda, but everywhere else in the world, it's the original price. What's that all about?
Inflation.
Just in America.
Right there. That's all you gotta say. It's America.
I have no idea.
The rest of the world has been paying the equivalent of $70 US for a long time now. We've been paying £60 for games for many, many, many years.
Yeah, but don't forget, our price includes VAT. They have tax, but it's added afterwards. So when you see a published price, it's tax has to.
They
be
then
added.
got to add the tax afterwards. Yeah. So
whereas ours is advertised with the tax in already, 20%.
It's one of those. I've actually looked into this. I've used resources like Glassdoor and Naughty Dog and 343 Industries with a bit of information from those guys, and it is a case of it's just they're needing to sell like 10 million copies at $70 to break even. Like with a big AAA game, that's the sort of stuff they're having to shift. That's including things like motion capture studios, specialist equipment,
Development
specialist
massively.
skills.
Switch, they've used mocap.
Possibly not, but like I said, I wasn't talking to a Switch developer.
Yeah.
So it's just that's how much it costs to make them. That they've got to try and make the money back.
But why not charge everybody in the world an additional price? This is the thing I'm baffled by. Why they've only highlighted that to the
I
state.
think they're trying it out now in the States, so that like.
Well, you do that in Colombia, don't you? Or Botswana.
Well, I think they want to see
don't go
when
after
the
your
states
major
have been
market.
paying less anyway.
Well,
like
because I think they did it in they increased the price. It's easier. Go to the U.S. where people are more vocal, and if there's not riots in the street, then it's a success.
Yeah.
I love how that's the litmus test. If there's not riots in the street,
I mean, if you think about it, Xbox tried that with doing something. Sony's done that. What happens? Everyone in America.
Hello, Nintendo CEO here. Yeah. What? Sorry, the Proud Boys are in the reception. You say?
I didn't say that. I didn't go that far.
Well, Rokk did, so
yeah.
I know. I mean,
someone had to go.
I'm clearly advertising for Nintendo. So it just happened to randomly put this Nintendo. No, but I think it kind of seems to be like a standard, like when a company does something that they want to see what the reaction's going to be, they wait and see what the U.S. fan base is going to do, and if they go up in arms, because look, Xbox has done it before, and then they
can't see them struggling to push 10 million units. I mean, Breath of the Wild,
not even slightly.
Yeah,
no, that thing will sell the moment it releases.
Yeah. I mean, Breath of the Wild is one of the biggest selling games of all time, isn't it? Yeah,
The ones that launched in was it November or December, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they shifted 11 million before the end of last year.
Wow.
And they were priced at 40 quid here in the UK, so 39.99. So I cannot see any problem with them shifting 10 million or more.
No, they'll break even. They'll make
Tears of the Kingdom.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They'll break even. They'll make profit, and then they'll be able to create whatever's next. But
people will complain, but they'll be in line complaining as they're paying for it. They'll have their phone tweeting it up.
Why is it $70?
$70. One sec, guys. I gotta pay for this. As they're sweating, paying for the $70 game, and then all right, let me go back to finish complaining about this.
Yeah.
Have you? Has everybody here got a Switch?
But
oh, I forgot I'm still here.
No, I don't have one.
I have a Switch, or rather, my son has a Switch, and
I have one. I mean, my wife has one, but
I have a Switch. Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I think everybody has a platform and Switch because Nintendo just do the great family party games.
Yeah.
So if you want to get those great family party experiences, you need to have a Switch. And when it's like here, they were selling them in Tesco for 150 quid the other day.
No
the
way.
OLED version.
No, what? Seriously?
You had to go into store, and it was very limited stock.
Wow.
But 150 quid for an OLED Switch.
Was that just the Tesco near you or across the UK?
Across the UK.
Oh, mate, why didn't you tell me?
Because I found out about it a day later.
I found out after they were already sold out. Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Otherwise, I would have a nice OLED right now as well.
How much are they normally? They're normally twice that, aren't they?
Everything was half price. So there was a bunch of games and the consoles all going for half price. So like the Lite, the one that comes without the dock, that was going for like 50 quid.
What?
That's mental. I would have picked one up at that point of price.
I'd have sent it over to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Rock's like, man, there goes my giveaway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cheaper than some of the games he gives away.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
No, I would have definitely bought one. We bought one for my daughter for Christmas, and I was just blown away at the quality. I'd never seen it in the flesh before, and the game quality just blew me away. For a 1080p, it looked like 4K.
My son uses it, but he just uses it to sit and watch YouTube videos. So gets a lot of use out of that for him.
But it is a tablet as well.
Yeah, but he watches people playing games on Switch, so he's kind of in a way same experience.
And I tell him, I'm like, dude, watch my content. I try to get him to watch my content. He's like, Dad, you're not popular. I don't want to watch that.
No, I wouldn't let him watch your content, mate. No. You don't want him to grow up with traumatic issues, do you? Let's be honest.
He literally sat with me when I live streamed Postal 4 and told on camera Lee was there. And heard my 5-year-old, he was, I think, 4 at the time, but heard him say, Dad, kick that head down the street like a soccer ball. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to have any issues with him. He's already
too late now.
You might have different issues with him.
Yeah. It's all too late now.
It's done at that point.
Yeah. MM2K, if you got a Switch.
Yeah.
No, my son has a Switch.
So
same as me. Then.
My
I don't
handheld
have one as well.
is done all through cloud gaming.
Yeah.
my grandpa had a Switch before a Switch was a thing.
My son loves it.
Yeah. Your grandpa had a Switch before Switch was a thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, $200, that's a deal.
You know, it was a different kind of Switch, but it was still called a Switch.
You talking about the one on the wall where you turn the lights
on? No, I had to go outside and get one. Funny, but
it's an American thing. You have to go climb the tree and get the Switch.
I thought it was going to be funny, but Rod turned it into a serious discussion.
Yeah.
I think there's more two sides of the Atlantic just not gelling here.
It's an old Southern States thing where when children were acting up, go get the Switch. You have to climb. You literally have to climb a tree and get one of those real thin wicker branches and bring them took the lashes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they
the leaves off. They took the leaves off. You know.
Seriously.
I mean, it's like getting hit with a Harry Potter wand. You know.
Wow.
Mate, we just all got cricket bats.
I got that used on me for a long time. I don't know why. I thought I was an angel growing up, but
so much.
You did tell them they weren't supposed to hit you up the head, though, didn't you?
They used to tell me to stop playing under the power lines because it would cause problems.
This explains so much.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on to gaming. We're starting to dive into. People are going to realize what's wrong with me.
What did you guys think about the show in general? Like apart from the Zelda,
the Nintendo show.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, personally, I thought it was actually really good. It had a little bit of something for every demographic of Switch player. There wasn't a huge amount for me personally, but I'm not every Switch player. From a platform perspective, I think they knocked it out of the park. They brought things
like 35 games or something.
Wow. 35 games, 40-minute show. Xbox, this is how you do a direct. You don't waffle for 10 minutes about dirt on a car.
No,
You just
Yeah.
do trailer after trailer, release date after release date, and you bring what the fans want. I can't really fault it.
Yeah. Any highlights other than obviously Zelda?
I thought the Metro Prime remaster being shadow dropped as well was a huge thing.
I had a friend of mine has already played that, and he said that was he labeled that the greatest remastered game that Nintendo's ever made.
Wow.
Like on the platform, so it was that good. I haven't played it, but that he's a big Nintendo guy, so that it was so apparently it must have been really good. But I like that they shadow dropped it because that's those things that you just sometimes you don't think of Nintendo doing that kind of stuff.
They did it with loads of things though. Like there was so much like it's available today. There was so many demos, a couple of games, the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff that went into the Switch Online subscription. They were available 2 hours after the Direct. They did a lot of shadow drop in there.
Yeah. I think for me, like I found I was kind of like Tron Identity was like, oh, this is cool, but at the same time, I like that. I only think that's cool because I love the main producer of that, Mike Bithell. I love him on the podcast on a podcast. So like I'm probably not gonna be interested in the game anyway. It's just it's cool because it's him. But I realized I'm an outlier. I didn't find anything that they announced to be interesting. Really, I was like,
really
about everything. Yeah, it was like 35 games, and all I could feel it was, nah. I'm not like
not
it's
even
not a bad
Metroid
game.
Prime. That's a great game.
I'm not interested.
All right, well,
and I don't know why.
Stuff you then.
I mean, it's I realized like it was like objectively it was a great show. It just wasn't a good show for me.
It just didn't do
for some reason.
That's fair enough, isn't it? That's fair enough.
Well, we now know that Bjorn is not a Nintendo fan, so that sums it up right there.
Don't tell my son, because my son loves like everything Nintendo, especially Mario, and I just can't stand Mario games. There's one Mario game that I've ever enjoyed,
it's
and
me.
that was Mario Strikers. I never enjoyed a Mario game except for Mario Strikers.
That was a good game, though.
And he loves Mario.
Hang on, original Strikers or Switch Strikers?
Original Strikers.
Okay, I'll let you off then. If you were saying Switch Strikers, we were going to have issues.
I haven't played Switch Strikers, but my son is getting through his birthday soon, so
we need you to record, use your phone and record a video and upload it. I just want to see what it looks like, because comparing to the original, because the original, I think, for a soccer game with Mario was like the gold standard.
If you like the original, steer clear of the follow-up. It's very bare bones. Incredible.
He is getting the follow-up next week, so I'll be playing it next week, and I did love the first one. So,
just close your eyes. Just close your eyes, man, and just play it like on your teeny tiny controller. Like, yeah. You'll probably still win, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Although he is surprisingly good. Like he can hold his own in most games. I once took a video of him playing Pokemon Unite, and I posted that on Twitter. Like, guess the age of the player, and I was like, no, that's just you. And like, no, that's my 6-year-old. He was better than half the people reading that tweet. So
you should have just taken advantage of it and said, yes, that is me.
I know, but hindsight is 20/20. But yes, let's move on with the news. Hogwarts Legacy is obviously out. Ray's been playing it and loving it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are like me and can only play using cloud gaming, it is now out on Boosteroid. Thanks for spotting that for me, Vet, because I had missed that before the show. So I added that last minute. So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is available through Epic and Steam on Boosteroid.
Yes.
Sweet.
And I've already gotten feedback from a few players that have been playing it via Boosteroid that they've gotten it all the settings on high with at 60 FPS.
Yeah, so 1080p 60 with on high graphics.
Is Boosteroid the AMD setup then, rather than NVIDIA?
No, I think it's the GPUs.
AMD CPU, NVIDIA graphics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'd have to look. But it's
they use NVIDIA cards though, don't they? For the
GPU. They use they're using NVIDIA GPU.
Yeah.
It's 12
it's a slight shame.
Yeah, it's equivalent to the 30 series cards. I know that one. as I don't know what you're talking about, Caseball. I see the comment. I don't know anything about that.
We were talking about that before the show, and but Wes was like, I think I've angered like all the people in the subreddit. 70,000
I don't know anything about that. That was clearly not me.
Mate, at least you didn't put a video out on YouTube, mate.
Wow. I mean, I've been known to call fans out before and say certain things. Ray knows that with Cloud Nation when I said something about Google one time. But that's a different story. But no, I lost my train of thought.
Hogwarts on Booster. Right?
Yeah, Steam and Epic. Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm gonna try it out probably Monday and check it out.
Yep. It's gonna be like. If you can't play it anywhere else.
It's like I was saying, my daughter she's at university. She only has a little MacBook Air, so she can't play it any other way but Boosteroid. So I'm going to get her a month's worth of Boosteroid, and that's how she's going to play it. So I'm glad that it's officially on there.
Yeah.
Bit easier if it's official, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit easier.
He did not drop a picture. That was not me. That was somebody else that posted that, and I don't know who commented afterwards. Not me that did that.
There are guys at your door with pitchforks and torches.
Yes, definitely.
Look, if 73,000 people are pissed off at me, I may have accidentally posted my YouTube channel name on that discussion as well. So,
yikes.
If I see a spike of 73,000 viewers, I'm going to be winning.
You little clickbaiter.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I just took a page out of Anthony's playbook. I just channeled my inner Anthony and was like, let's go this route.
Inner Anthony.
I learned from the best.
Well, he should be joining us later as well. Shouldn't he be on?
Look, I don't know who wrote that case. I honestly don't know who wrote that proof. That doesn't even sound like me.
We should really have included Vet's attack on Reddit as a news item.
Yeah, I should.
I mean, I'm speaking of devil.
We should just.
It makes it sound like he just walked in with a baseball bat or something.
Yeah.
Why is Caseball calling me out? Like I didn't do nothing wrong. I just said a few things here and there and pissed everyone off. It's not my fault.
That's just a normal Thursday for you.
Yeah, that's like a normal. That's like a normal every day. I type one thing and I'm usually somehow getting canceled.
Oh dear.
Did you guys see the Take-Two Interactive CEO's statements this week? By the way,
about cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little harsh, I thought. Actually, it was more about Stadia, wasn't it?
I didn't see them. What did he say?
He's always been responded about Stadia.
Yeah. First, he talks for like the most of this short interview is just him talking about AI and machine learning in game development, and I think he's honestly feels like he's kind of off base with that as well. But then he goes down to the topic of cloud gaming, and it says that notes that Take-Two was one of the first, if not the first licensor, which no, they weren't, to support Google Stadia with Red Dead Redemption 2. He emphasized that cloud gaming is a distribution company, not a business model, and described it as an evolution rather than a revolution of the game's business. I wholeheartedly disagree. He also said that I think if you're prepared to pay $60 or $70 for a frontline title, you're also prepared to buy a console, and I think Stadia found that out. And I mean, I'm prepared to pay $60 or $70 for a game. I'm not prepared to buy a console.
Yeah,
I would argue.
Strauss. I remember way back when. Shout out to Clive. Me and Clive had sat and talked about Strauss's position on cloud gaming. Even way back when he made a little bit of controversy because of stuff that he said about Stadia in 2020. But Clive pointed out that he talks globally and wholeheartedly about it when he's really referring to 2K's business model. And I think that's where there's the friction. Like, okay, we can understand for 2K, their consumer, that if they pay $70 for a game, they'll want to, they'll want to buy a console. But Rokk just spoke to it. His daughter only has access to a Mac, and he's willing to pay. You know, she's willing to pay because Hogwarts is just that good. So I think Strauss's problem is he takes his business line and how the things are associated to their business, and he for no lack of a better term, he brushes with a broad brush or wand, if we're going to stick with Hogwarts. He uses a broad wand to apply it to everything in this business, and it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, no, that's fair shout. I agree.
I would argue that part
Well, at
of
least
what he
he's-
says is true. The whole evolution side of it, not revolution. It's essentially, especially when Stadia was out, it was the console experience that everybody knew in the cloud, just accessible from any connected screen that you had. So I would agree with that statement. But the whole, if they're willing to pay $70 for a game, they're willing to buy a console. People's wallets don't stretch that far. Like,
I know, exactly.
I'm in a position where it would take me now 4, 5, maybe even 6 months of really harsh saving and doing no other fun stuff to buy a new console. So if I wanted to get, say, the Series X, it would be 6 months of just existing, no living, no hobbies, no experiences outside of working and saving. And there's so many other people, especially in this corporate greed-driven cost of living crisis, who are in that same boat across the globe. So a better way of accessing, a cheaper way of accessing, a more versatile way of accessing is a great accessible thing. And the more accessible you make something, the more people that are going to flock to it. It's why Netflix are having problems at the moment, because they're trying to make things less accessible by stopping password sharing, and it's just going to drive up piracy. Whereas if they made it more accessible, more people would pay for it.
Yeah, and in general I agree. Although I do find I still think that cloud gaming is right now, yes, it's an evolution. But I think when we get into when people start building cloud native games, cloud native things that's a revolution rather than an evolution.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what Hideo Kojima brings for us. Once he brings that cloud native game, that will be the yardstick.
And Kim Smith over to Xbox, Jade over to Haven, and PlayStation, Ubisoft Scalar. Like when those things, it's still years before we'll see anything substantial from any of those people. But when we do, I think we'll see. Sorry, wait. What is it?
It's a psychological thing. It's like, when you look at physical versus hardware. I remember in 2013 when Xbox, they had something that was an evolution but not a revolution, and they weren't given a chance to flesh it out because the media beat them over the head about it. And that's when they were going to do the DRM thing, with the Xbox One. You fast forward, 10 years now, everybody's buying digital, and we love it. Digital. Look at the PlayStation 5 digital. That wasn't possible 10 years. So yeah, I think again, it's all in his word placement. His word placement is off, and it gives people like us who know better. Yeah. It makes us itchy and feel funny. Like, hey, what are you talking about? When he's really addressing, to someone's point earlier, the now. Yeah, it's not an evolution now. I mean, it's more less so now than it will be in the future. But when people do the math and they realize, you know what, instead of me paying $500 up front, that's almost 10 games. Yeah. And if I can get 4K 120 via GFN, you know what I mean? Like where I'm only getting 30 frames per second, still on the console in some cases, I'd rather spend my money on the cloud. When people start getting over that hump, then it's going to be different.
Yeah, for sure. And also like if you, go ahead, Ray.
Just real quick, I just think also everybody's experiences is different because there's a lot of people that can enjoy xCloud. There's a lot of people that can't enjoy xCloud. There's a lot of people I know that can't experience GFN, and there's a lot of other people that do. There's a lot of people that got certain monitors, other people don't. Everybody's experiences is different, and when you have all these different experiences, that's when everybody, well, it doesn't work for me, well, it works for me. And I think when everything is at an even par in the future and we can actually see, then I think everybody will be happy. But right now, it's money, it's tech, it's a lot of things. A lot of things.
Definitely. And I mean, something like I think like I remember when every single software we on the internet was running on locally hosted servers, and like doing things like doing things like what we're doing now, like this show, like back before we had cloud computing, probably wouldn't have been viable to do. Like someone like this software that we're using to do this, for example, I don't think we would have seen that as a thing. And I mean, Rokk, you can probably attest to this. I'm guessing you run most of your business in the cloud, for example.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything we do is cloud based. I
mean,
mean everything we build is cloud based, and the way that we build it is cloud based.
Yeah.
So we couldn't exist unless cloud didn't. Well, we could, but we wouldn't be doing it the way we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And like the doors that opens up. And I mean, I was 2 weeks ago now also at a NVIDIA's
wouldn't be
AI
as efficient,
reception.
would it?
No, exactly. I mean, I was at NVIDIA's AI reception 2 weeks ago here in Stockholm when they were like, NVIDIA were there, and then people from the like AI industry were there, and for some reason I was there, and they were talking about like what's happening in the AI space. Like everything that they talked about there, that was simply not possible before cloud. And like so many doors have opened up of like new ideas for businesses, new approaches to old problems, new like everything. And I think we are like cloud gaming means we can do that for gaming. And I think whenever it's time for gaming to take that leap, it's going to be opening up things like that. Like the things that open up for software as a service is going to happen for gaming, and I think that's going to be a massive thing. Obviously, we're not there yet. Like we're still several years out, but it is happening. We have seen, like, if you want to see what that could look like, just take a look. I mean, Stadia, it might be gone, but the minds behind it aren't. So like, take a look at the presentation that Aaron Hoffman-John did with the football teams. Like they just added more and more FPS tanks down to like 2 FPS, and now we switch over to like load balancing over to 5 different servers, and we have a stable 60 FPS, whereas previously we had 1 FPS. It just happened in seconds. And like I think when game devs can do that for games, then like and like when we had like one of the initial interviews with Jade Raymond, when like before they closed down SGNE, she said that like one of the problems that they were tackling is like, how do we as game developers like even manage a game where we, instead of having like maybe 100 gigabytes of assets that we need to distribute to everyone, and that's a big game, like what do we do when we have like a terabyte or 2 terabytes? how do we keep track of all our assets? Like, oh, like you need textures. Yeah, we have a massive like 500 gigs of textures over here. Find the right one. I have no idea which one is which. Like those kind of things become very much like a massive problem to tackle. Like you have to change the entire way you build games. I think in a lot of these cases, and we will get there eventually. And when we do, then suddenly cloud gaming isn't just an evolution anymore. Then it's a revolution.
I mean, look, I don't mind if it's some random journalist saying, you know, cloud's never going to happen. But this is a guy who runs one of the largest software houses on the planet. He knows what the situation is, and I just find it disingenuous that he even bothers to open his mouth and say those kinds of things. Well, I mean, what is the point?
Yeah,
I mean, we had the same with video, though, didn't we? When
we did.
Netflix and LoveFilm and Prime Video, they all started coming out and giving us these easily accessed, internet-only, pay a subscription fee. Everybody felt the same way. We had the same knee-jerk, balking reaction to video going the same way. And if you look at it now, when was the last time anybody bought a DVD or Blu-ray? I haven't bought one probably in 8 years.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you've got to go a long way to find them these days, haven't you?
A long way to find them. Like, they're not even in HMV anymore, for example. You have to... You sort of have to evolve at the rate of the slowest person, but also drag them kicking and screaming into the future a little bit. It's a very difficult balancing act. And the guys who did it for the video side of things, they did it really well. They had that dual running and eventually just phased out the delivery of the discs, and you were just having it through your internet connection. We're already at that point of dual running with all of the big three. Nintendo have got cloud gaming, Sony have got cloud gaming, Microsoft have got cloud gaming. They've still got their boxes under the TVs that discs can go in, or you can have digital purchased assets on. So we're already at that point of like this dual or triple running, and it's just going to be a case of, I feel personally, we're going to get towards the end of this console generation. It's going to be like, well, what's the point of making a new box when we can just make new experiences on the cloud where we don't have to worry about shipping costs and all that sort of stuff. And we've just got to let that natural progression happen, let the evolution happen. And once things have evolved in that manner, then we'll start to see the revolution that people want to see.
Yeah, I mean, do we, we used to get really wound up about this with Stadia. Do we feel the same way now, or do we just kind of go, whatever?
I mean, I never got that wound up about it with Stadia personally.
No, I didn't really, to be honest with you. I mean, there was a little bit of it there, but I suppose, don't know. What do you think, Ray?
I just think right now these companies are just trying to cater to everybody's options, because there's money to be made everywhere, in the cloud, on this consoles, on the handhelds, and stuff like that. But once upon a time, I was one of those guys that were booing when they were talking about digital. I was like, boo! Because I was so old school, going to GameStop, waiting in line, paying my money and getting the game. I was like, why would you want to go digital? And then when I got into, now it's like my PS5 is digital, my Xbox is digital, the cloud. I mean, I think it's amazing to purchase a game and then instantly play it. That's why Stadia was like a dream come true, to buy a game and then just play it. I thought it was an amazing tech, but I just think right now though, it's just a baby, and it's gonna be a while until it evolves.
Hey Ninja, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you.
Hey,
Off of work.
Great to see you.
Nice.
Finally off work.
That's your pillow on the wall. You stuck it on the wall.
Yeah,
I love how it's just wedged.
I think if I touch it there, like it's just gonna fall off. Like I just kept it there, and that's it. Yeah.
I've just got this image of him just like propping it up and then kicking it into place.
Yeah, and it's not like going on the inside; it's actually going from the outside. So it's like I'm not touching it. I'm never gonna touch it. It's gonna stay there for life, or until I move or something.
It's convex, not concave.
Usually I use the digital blanket for warmth, because it's fucking cold out here most of the time. But I have used, like, currently it's being used to cover the mess that's behind here.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm housing the vacuum cleaner out here right now, but it's like I can't have that on the screen.
You could if it was Henry, because Henry's just smiling at everybody all the time then.
Yeah, no, we don't have a Henry Hoover over here.
Oh.
Too bad. Otherwise, I would have definitely loved, doing some fun stuff with, like, spraying some flour on the floor and then going like, Henry, are you doing?
Although they have released a massacred version of Henry this week. They've squidged him and made him like really long, and put his face on sideways. It's like, why have you done this? Why have you hurt Henry so?
Who's Henry? What? What's happening?
Have you never heard of Henry the Hoover?
Henry's a brand of vacuum cleaner, Ninja.
Oh, okay.
He's largely used in offices and things, and it's kind of the most ugliest thing you've ever seen. So to make it less ugly, they put eyes on it.
Yeah, they gave him a face, and he smiles at you all the time, and it's the best bloody black vacuum cleaner you can get hold of.
What a great way to market something, right?
It also happens to be good, so people get we don't have Henry the Hoover over here in Sweden, but there are Henry the Hoover toys.
Are there?
What?
Like, so you get the toys, but not the actual thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Most vacuum cleaning, like toy vacuum cleaners we have in Sweden, are Henry the Bloody Hoover. We don't have the actual thing.
Nice.
Wow.
But guys, let's move on to some more news. Let's bring this in, and then I think I gotta put it over there for this to work.
Why hurt me so? Why?
Yeah.
Sorry for the Knockout City image here. So that obviously didn't work out well, but they did say the relationship ended on very good terms between the developers and EA. EA basically came out to say we're moving away from niche with our EA Originals. I mean, EA Originals was the publishing thing where they started with it, like the It Takes Two and Faye, like smaller indie titles.
It was the indie initiative, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And like the deal was also really good because like the indie dev got to keep their IP. They got all the profits. So basically, I think it was a case of as soon as EA had made the initial investment back, and every single dime went back to. So EA just went break even on it, and then the indie studio got all, like, they kept the IP, they got all the money. Like generally, it was a great deal for the indie studios. But then things, I mean, over time they started like releasing bigger and bigger titles within EA Originals, and now they've gone on to say that we're moving away from niche indie titles within EA Originals. It's now going to be our publishing arm, where we publish other people's games, AAA or indie, it doesn't matter.
But will they never learn, EA? Every time they do this, every time they move away from the niche, every time they start to focus down on this, oh, well, that's the big seller. Look what they did with Battlefield for many years. They tried to make it a Call of Duty clone. That's not what Battlefield was. And suddenly it started flopping, and then had to change tack again. And then they did all this crunch to get things out the door in a swift way, and then they got named the worst company on the planet, and so on and so forth. It's like
five times, I think it was.
They got a Monster Hunter game on the way. I can't wait to see that.
I mean, I can't wait to see it, but at the same time, it's like, when will you learn, EA? Please.
Yeah. But that Wild Hearts is actually being released under the EA Original brand, because it's not like, it's just EA is publishing it, but they're not developing it. It's another dev making it. So I think Bandai Namco. So I mean, they are. I think it's an interesting way of handling it. But other than that, we also had the Grammys finally added a special category for video game soundtracks. Yes, they finally did. The nominees this time around were Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok.
Sorry.
Valhalla.
Say it the same way that they did. Valhalla.
No, sorry. I'll actually do it the proper way because I can, because I'm Swedish. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok. There we go.
No, he actually said Assassin's Creed Va.
Yeah.
Man, we're doing free voice acting here. Doesn't feel gonna steal that.
So yeah, so that was they won obviously so Stephanie Ekumonu. Honestly, it was a great soundtrack. I've listened to it afterwards, but it was a little bit weird that it like a DLC maybe, but still a worthy win because she's also really quite new in the game. Other nominations were Aliens Fireteam, which is Austin Winfrey, one of my absolute favorites. Call of Duty Vanguard, I don't remember who composed that, but it's a really big.
How old is Vanguard?
Vanguard came out last year.
It came out last year. Yeah. Wait, no, it didn't.
No, that was 2021.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
So that's another weird one then.
But Dawn of Ragnarok was 2021 as well. Did they not realize that 2022 existed?
No. Dawn of Ragnarok was Dawn of Ragnarok came out in April 2022.
Fair play. I'll give him that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fair point.
No, Call of Duty Vanguard. When did that come out?
Yeah, it came out in 2021.
It was
last year was
Modern Warfare 2 last year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Vanguard is this.
So what's that doing in there then? For Grammy.
Yeah, that's weird.
They might as well slap in StarCraft or something.
I've got it. I know what they did.
Let's go.
Wait a minute.
I know what they did.
It came on the back end.
What they did was go, oh, there's video games. What are they? Let's just grab from anywhere.
Let's be honest, probably yes. Although the music for Vanguard was composed by Barry McCreary, who is amazing.
Fantastic. Hang on.
And everywhere.
There was a 2022 game of his.
Not just one. I think he put
3 out, didn't he? Yeah.
No, five games and 2 TV shows and 1 movie in 1 year.
Let's be honest. He cannot be producing this himself, right? He has to have a studio of people, and he just slaps his name on it.
Have you?
No, I think
have you read his blog?
Work with it.
No.
Yeah, have you read his blog about the Ragnarok one? About how he just went into this spiral of writing for it because he got so into it. He gave them about 300 hours too much.
What?
He just got so into it, and in about a month, he gave him 300 hours worth of
He
music.
must be autistic or something.
Yeah,
Maybe he didn't mention it in his own blog or anything.
But then again, I think also keep in mind, like he knew right, like the second they started working on this, he was probably on board. So he has had years
100%.
like this. It's fine. Like and I don't think he did it that quickly.
He is a genius, though. I mean,
he is.
his stuff is
the
amazing.
Rings of Power, Rings of Power has like think what you will of the show. The music is amazing. My absolute favorite score is for a show called TV show called Da Vinci's Demons, which I mean I can by the way recommend that show. It's a great show. I don't know where you can watch it, but it's Da Vinci's Demons.
Da Vinci's what?
Da Vinci's Demons. It's like
Demons. Yeah.
So it's like it's like the years of Da Vinci where you don't know anything about. Combine that with like, so we take him, we make him like in sort of like a magical superhero-ish. Like he's not superhero, but he's a bit superhuman maybe.
Well,
they combine that with like the events that happened and then make it. Sorry about it.
Me and Ray like Outlander, don't we, Ray?
Yes. Yeah, he did Outlander as well. But like the music, like the main theme he did for Da Vinci's Demons, because it was like because Da Vinci did these palindromes. The main theme melody is actually a musical palindrome. You can play it backwards and it's the same theme. Like the amount of depth he goes into things. Yeah,
he's amazing. And I guess if he was Swedish, his first name would be Bjorn as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly. We share the first name.
Yeah.
So even more reason to like him. Another nominations were Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy by Richard Jacques, and Old World by Christopher Tin. Christopher Tin was incidentally also the first person to be nominated for a Grammy for a game score with Baba Yetu with Civ 4. Although Austin Wintory was the first one to win for I think he won Best Album with Journey. So obviously, I think that's like the first nomination was Christopher Tin. The first winner was also Wintory, and now we had an actual category. Both of those two are nominated, which I find interesting. I just couldn't resist getting this in here, especially since I love video game music. I know Ninja loves video game music, and probably some more people.
I mean, the music makes a game. It really does. It elevates a moment. It's just there.
There are a lot of games where I've not played the game, but I've listened to the music several times over.
Death Stranding's got great music.
Yes, it does.
Phenomenal music. Yeah.
We got introduced to one of the tracks a couple of months back, and it was really good. Last topic before we go into the non-news section of it. Just like, have you guys heard about the game called Dwarf Fortress?
Yes, from GFN. I think it's in GFN now, right?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, but I mean, it's been out for popular. Years. It's been very niche, but quite popular. It's been it had I think it was like quite cheap. Initially just text based, like ANSI graphics, just like characters on the screen in different colors. To fill up the world, and it's been like that for years. And it's also like an intensely deep simulation strategy game, which is like almost like I think like the games that I like to play are considered to be child's play in comparison to this game. But like it's been two brothers who've been building this for like over a decade. I think 20 years at this point. And they came to a point where they started selling it. They earned around $15,000 a month, and then they did it I think they released on Steam and the patch, and so from $15,000 of income per month, which is like that paid for both of their salaries, but they were in a position where we can't pay our health insurance anymore. I think one of them had to do some surgery. They had started hiring people because they had got some publisher money in. And then came January, and they got in $7.2 million. So that's quite a jump from the $50K.
Wow!
Because the game just exploded on Steam.
Yeah.
Some people are just get the lucky break, right? Like just like Among Us, they just get like some random popularity, and
exactly,
it's great for them.
It's like people pick it up suddenly, don't they? In a moment in history. Splitgate did the same when everybody was waiting for news on Halo. There was suddenly this Halo-like competitive shooter, but with Portal.
Halo meets Portal,
everybody was in.
How can you not like that?
Valheim on Steam was.
Yes.
randomly, yeah, for sure.
5 million players within a week, I think Valheim had. And that was people in the studio when they did that. But yeah, so these guys basically said like half, a little less than half of these money will go to taxes, because they were really open about this on their forums apparently, and I found a link to it. And we're continuing to pay people and new business expenses and such. So it's not all personal money, but it's a lot of it, and enough that we've solved the main issues of health and retirement for both of us, which is usually trouble for independent people, as well as safeguarded the future of the game well enough that we felt comfortable to bring on another programmer to work with full code. So yeah, like just some generally nice, like feel good moment of video game history there.
Needed, very needed.
Yeah.
Ah, look who's back.
Well, hello there.
Did you go lunch or something? Did you go eat?
No, I had to pick up my. I already got food.
You got. I know you. You got that. I just finished eating. Smile on your face.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had to go pick up my
crumbs on your shirt, man.
Oh man, I knew it. Stop calling me out.
Barbecue sauce dripping down your beard. That's the problem.
Hey, did I leave something? I don't know what anybody's talking about. Wait, let me make sure the logo's shown. There we go.
I knew it. You went to make how many chicken nuggets? 10 or 20 piece?
I got
a bucket.
I got a 20 piece and 2 McChickens and 2 McDoubles.
McDoubles.
Classic.
Actually, then they messed up my order, and I got 2 quarter pounder with cheeses also.
If you turn your camera off, Vet, I've given you an appropriate avatar, by the way.
Oh God.
Oh, that wasn't.
Yeah.
From him. He didn't choose that.
Oh, that's Rokk.
No, it's a vet.
Oh my God. You know what? Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is where it comes from. Yeah.
It's an actual vet.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. I figured we should.
I can't
I figure we should like with Hogwarts Legacy coming out. Obviously, like the biggest amount of the biggest focus on all the reviews I've seen has been like the gameplay is good, everything's good, but the world, the castle is like mind-blowingly good. So I just wanted to lead with asking, hang on, where did I? My blood is trouble. So if you play a game, how important is the world and world building around it for you guys?
I need. It's got to look decent, especially for those open world. That's my favorite style of game, anyways. Whether it's semi-open or open, completely open, it's got to be like that. But if the detail isn't there, it doesn't really matter then, because it's not gonna keep my attention in that game. So if from what I've seen, and everybody says it's like a semi-open world, you can kind of do your own thing, but you still have to follow along. But from what I've seen with the visuals and everything, it'll keep my attention locked into that game. And if that's what got me hooked on Odyssey, and keep going back to that game. And that's an older game. Yeah. The attention to detail in these open world environment games are the biggest selling points in my opinion.
To me, it's not a necessity, but it's a really nice thing to have, because the pro world creators out there, they're really good, and they really made the game looks amazing. So it's definitely like a plus, but not a necessity. The game can still be good, without any world builder specialist, So yeah, for me, that's how it is.
Bigger's not always better for me, and the size of Hogwarts World has really put me off buying it. It seems far too big, far too barren, like Odyssey was for me.
Yeah.
For me, world building comes from the story, from the characters, from what you're doing within that space, within that game. You can have a totally linear world that's got much better world building than a massive open world. And as long as that essence is there, that world building in terms of story and characterization, you could have grey blocks for me for all I care.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I went to go get my wand at the wand shop, I felt like I was back at Universal Studios, where they had it was the same. Like an old guy came around. I kid you not, an old person came around the counter, and there's all these wands. That's what it was like when I went to Universal Studio, and they pulled out the wands, and I was like, "Oh my god, this feels exactly like in real life." But I'm just blown away with the world of
started
Hogwarts.
saying this, I thought you were talking about the Universal experience.
No, I'm comparing.
It's not the
both.
game.
I'm comparing the game to the
Universal.
actual. It was amazing how the world, like when you go to Universal Studio and you're walking around, that's how I felt in the video game. The shops and everything, getting butter beer, which you can go get you some butter beer.
Butterbeer is so good.
Yes. Oh,
It
yes.
was just amazing. I love the world, but for me, it's really honestly, as long as the gameplay and it makes me want to come back and play it, I can enjoy that game. Doesn't have to be a massive world. Hey, I'm playing Vampire Survivor, enjoying that, going around in circles. I love that game. It really is. Can the game bring me back to play it more? It doesn't have to be a big world, but I will say Hogwarts, the music, the game, the lore, and everything. It is a must-play game if you are a Harry Potter or you grew up. And I remember reading the books with my daughter, taking my kids to Universal Studio. This game is just a good game. It's a good game.
I feel old now.
Yeah, just a bit.
Some might say that I went and saw all the movies the day they came out and I bought all the books. Yeah, that's right. I can read. I'm cultured. I mean,
Sure.
the ways of
Yeah.
awesome. Some might say that, but not many. I mean, it's mostly just me and the voices in my head that tell me that I'm cultured.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least I've read some books.
Yeah, I was
I
Red
during
Caterpillar
high school,
doesn't count.
It still
I
counts.
feel
damn
like
it.
I was in that perfect age, to be honest. Like I was essentially when the first Harry Potter book came out, I was the same age as Harry Potter was.
Same,
Yeah. So it was like the perfect age to be, because I mean you can relate.
It's through me because Ray's talking. I remember reading that to my daughter when it came out. And
not to throw you guys under the bus or anything, but like
I was the same, Bjorn, and
yeah,
it was the first time I'd actually felt seen as well outside of immediate family, which I think was a very important thing, and why so many people are still flocking to it when they're this far into their adult life and such. And I can understand why people want you to stay away, why people are saying please don't and what have you, but at the same time it's like, why should we deny people a little bit of joy in their life?
The hungry caterpillar. What was that? All right.
What the hell happened to that?
What was it? His McNuggets? Was it spicy?
This is Rokk added a banner saying the hungry caterpillar. Yum yum.
You see, to see what actually goes on there, I have to have it over here on my phone, and it's only just popped up.
That caught me by surprise. I was like, "What? That's not common. Where's that coming from?" I saw Rokk laughing. Like,
that was his favorite book. I know it's.
Something came out. Really, I didn't see it. Check that.
Yeah.
God.
Let's say you play a game and it's like a mediocre game. Like the gameplay is mediocre, the story is kind of meh, but the world, it's like kind of world, like the world it's set in, like not just like the size of the map, but like the world building, the in the example of Hogwarts, the Hogwarts castle, the place you're walking around, or like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Greece. Is that setting and world enough for you guys to keep playing a game if you lose if the rest of the game is kind of meh?
No.
So that is for me. I realize, like I can just ride that wave of the world building way further than I should.
When a game, they focus on world building, they better make that game really good in that aspect, And from what I'm hearing, this is what they've been doing. And not just that, but on top of that, they have a license that they need to build on, Harry Potter, right? So
Yeah.
if they must have made also a great job at understanding how the world is and how it was constructed, and all the lore and all of that. And it must have not been easy to make a game like that. Is what I'm saying.
No, definitely right.
Yeah, for me, if it's a mediocre experience to actually interact with, it doesn't matter how amazing the actual world is. You just, when you're interacting with it, it's frustrating, or it's boring, or it's just not engaging, and it could be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in terms of a world. But if I'm not enjoying playing that game, I'm not going to continue to play that game. And I won't ride that wave. I can't ride that wave anymore. I used to once upon a time, because, that whole, I completed the game, it was a badge of pride, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. My time is more precious.
Yeah. Any specific game worlds that you guys wanna highlight?
My favorite game world was Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mentioned this game a lot, but just the way, I don't know why, but just the way they build it. And to me, these guys, I think I can't remember, is it Tri-Ace that did? No, it's not. Anyway, the guys that made that world, they also made the world of Breath of the Wild and other worlds. They're just amazing at what they do. Yeah, that's a good one too. But just being in this vast open world, and there's this place you go where there's just like a super huge disc that you have to pass, and when you see something from afar and that you can pass it and explore it closer and stuff like that, it's just amazing.
Yeah, right. So basically, like the you see something like, oh, that looks so interesting, I want to go there, and then like what's actually there and like what you do on the way there doesn't really matter that much. Like
that's so amazing. I love that experience. Yeah.
But then you have games like Destiny, which feels like it's open world, but actually there's a lot of it's blocked off, and it's just
very constrained in regards.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop me putting 4,000 to 6,000 hours into it.
yeah. I think when I stopped, it was about 4,000 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, one of those worlds is like Guild Wars 2 is it's a good MMO, but at the end of the day, it's a good MMO. It's after like the second 100 hours is pretty much similar to the first 100 hours. Like there's not that much changing around. After you're done with leveling now, because the end game content, and then there's like 500 hours of end game content. It's basically all the same, but for me, like the world, I enjoy the gameplay. It's not that, but like the world around it is why I keep playing that game. I'm sure I'm a little bit interested in seeing where the story goes, but I'm mostly just interested to see where the world, the story takes me, like the places I get to visit.
Yeah, and even if you stay in that world for 500 hours, if you're enjoying the world, you're not gonna get bored of it. You're just gonna enjoy being in there all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose the gameplay can't be bad, because then it's not worth it. But if the gameplay is decent enough to keep you engaged somewhat, then.
I wanted to. Purple Haze says, question: what game world is? I think, what did she say? The worst.
What gameplay world is beautiful?
But the gameplay not so much.
Interesting. That's a good question.
That is.
I would put Deathloop out as an option there, because I thought that was, even though it was cel shaded, beautiful game. Loved the aesthetic. Terrible gameplay. It was a 10-hour tutorial.
Matrix. I was so disappointed. I thought the guns were cool and the cars, but the world was horrible. And the way how the characters ran around that was horrible. The cover of the book had me, because it had the Matrix kind of characters on it, and I was like, yes. And when I got home, I was so disappointed. Yeah, of the world. Thought some other things were good, but the world, I hated it. I didn't feel like I was in the Matrix.
Yeah, for me, I think one of the I have two that come to mind. On one hand, I would say Dragon Age 2. Like Dragon Age 1 Origins was amazing. Dragon Age 2 was a big letdown. I think a lot of it comes down, like the only reason I stuck around with it was to see, like, I wanted to see where the world ended up, because I knew there was a third one coming. Like, I know there's another one coming at some point. I want to see where the world ends up, so I know what's gonna happen. The other one, incidentally, is one that you showed recently, Ray. Cyberpunk. I feel the gameplay of Cyberpunk, I haven't been like, it never really grabbed me. It didn't. It wasn't bad, but it didn't grab me.
Fight,
The world.
fight.
Like I will easily spend out, like, I binged the Edge Runners when that came out, because I love the world. Oh wow.
Wow, that's
It's like
beautiful.
I love the game, I love the world, but the gameplay wasn't that good to me.
Is it?
It wasn't
you
bad,
know,
but
I haven't played a lot, but is it kind of like Fallout type of gameplay, or is it different than
Nah.
Fallout? It's not the same.
no.
Okay.
No, that's another game. When I played, the very beginning of Fallout 76, I was like, "What in the world happened? What happened?" I mean, when you first got Fallout 76, I like, this is not what Todd said this game was going to be. He didn't.
Did yours
Death
even
Stranding.
work?
I'll say it. Death Stranding. Sorry, Purple.
Yeah, don't you hate
Death
Death
Stranding's
Stranding?
amazing. No,
Ah,
it's one of the
I
best
can't-
games
I'm just
ever.
kidding.
I can't
Get
stand
outta
it.
here.
I can't stand that game. I don't understand anything. I haven't
Wait a minute.
Also, but like, isn't
Hang on,
isn't
Beth.
that sort of Kojima's thing?
Yeah, I
Like,
was going to
the
say, did you
gameplay of
understand
Kojima games.
any of the Metal Gears?
No.
Death Stranding is one of
I
my
can't
favorite
say-
games.
I'm
I
just
feel
kidding.
like this
I'm
is a
just-
you
I'm-
problem.
I'm honestly, honestly, I'm kidding about Death Stranding. I have the game and I have
I know.
I don't know anything about it. I watched somebody else play it. Actually, I watched Meg stream it, so that may not have helped me at all. So I don't know anything about it. But I was just doing that because Purple said no one better say it. So
Yeah, exactly.
I just went right
Like,
in.
but seriously
Did
though,
not
like,
say it.
how good would you say the gameplay is in any of Kojima's games? The world is like, undeniably, the worlds he creates are really interesting. That's why people love them. But like, if you
Yeah.
look at Death Stranding, how good is the gameplay?
It's amazing.
It's very good.
Like, is it?
There is no way you could take a walking simulator and be that engaged with it for that long without it being good
I love
gameplay.
walking
You
simulators.
need to go back and play that, man, because that game's a
Yeah, I feel like I need to get better.
it's a masterpiece. It's a
Yeah,
masterpiece.
and
Right.
the payoff at the end, I mean, it's just stunning.
I need to play that. Yeah. I played like almost every Hideo games except that one. I even played like Police Knot and Snatcher.
Oh yeah,
It's so
Snatcher.
good. Yeah. He does good games.
When you grab one of those cycles and you're driving across the land
Yeah.
and you got the baby, wah, wah, shut up.
I hate baby crying.
But that, I would say that's not gameplay. That's world that keeps you engaged at that point. Then.
It is also.
It's an amazing. No, it is an
ama-
amazing game.
amazing
It's got a
game, yeah.
great story.
I-
It's unique mechanics. Just a superb
Okay,
piece of artwork.
Putting a ladder down over kind of like a river, and
Yeah.
you got stacks of packages.
Yeah, that's gameplay then.
And I
Yeah, but
like,
you've even got things when you get into the game, further into the game, you start interacting with other players that aren't actually where you are.
yes.
So they leave bridges and things for you, and you can give them a load of likes, and you
Yeah,
can
okay.
go back into the
Yeah.
game like a month
I stand
later.
corrected then, because
You
that's
can have
obviously-
like 10
that's
million
gameplay then.
likes because people love the fact that you put a bridge down. It's just there's nothing else.
Yeah,
that's
no,
ever
but that's
been
definitely
like it.
gameplay systems being engaged in then. Right, but let's twist it around the other way then. The question then: are there any any worlds from books or movies or TV shows that you want to explore in games that you haven't had a chance to so far?
Twilight. No, just kidding.
All of them.
What?
What was
I'm
the
not a
question,
book reader,
sorry?
so I can't really.
I mean, like
talk about that.
movies, TV shows, like
Oh.
a fictional world that you've experienced in some other medium that you would like to see
I watch-
come to a game form.
No, because all the shows I watch are like whatever my kids watching. I don't really want to experience all the Disney Junior world.
Westworld.
Westworld
Purple's
is
just
VR,
a
yeah.
great one.
Good one.
Yeah. So true. That would be. I've always thought that as well. That would make such a good game, Westworld. That was a superb series. I finished watching 1883 yesterday, and it just gave me really good Red Dead Redemption vibes. And I thought,
oh, that's a good series.
Yeah, just brilliant. I'm going to go back and play some more Red Dead off the back of it because it's just an amazing show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it's kind of cheating to say Wheel of Time because there was a Wheel of Time game at one point. It was totally shit.
There was.
Like it's not really worthy of, like, we can forget it ever existed because it was kind of bad. But like Wheel of Time is one of those, like, I would love to see a Wheel of Time world.
Hey, you see, he couldn't keep off, could he?
I got one. Whatever you do, don't wave your arm. Don't wave your arm.
The man of the hour.
Didn't he say he wasn't showing up?
He did.
So here's what happened. My boss said that I could make up the time, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to the chiropractor tomorrow. So I figure, okay, today's my last day to make up the time, right? So it's a half an hour. So I figure I would stay a half an hour late, and I'm listening to the conversation. I'm like, man, I don't even want to be at work. I'm like, oh, I could come in a half an hour early. So,
Oh, I agree with Purple on that one. I would be down with a good Star Trek game.
So true.
I got one because I actually read the comics. But We the Boys, if you did a game,
the boys.
If it went the comic story,
you create your own superhero villain or superhero whatever.
That'd be great.
We the boys.
Yeah,
I love that.
I got nothing on that. I don't read comics.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Ben got the show on Amazon Prime. The Boys. You would love it.
It's
It'd
not
be right up your alley.
Oh, that, I've seen that. I watched that. That was great.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very good, the show, but it's nothing like the comics. The comics are other level, and if they did a game based around the actual comics,
So I'll say this, Dorgon. I never seen the comics, but and I get it. People are gonna say the movie was better, and the show was better, and then this was better, and I say the Last of Us video game was better, whatever. But either way, from not seeing what you seen in the comics, dude, the show itself. If they made a game just like the show. Oh man, but I could imagine. I mean, I heard about the graphic novel and some of the stuff that was changed.
Are you driving? Because you scaring me when you take your eyes away off it. I mean,
listen, Ray,
sorry.
how many times you tune in and you're driving? All right, don't worry about what I'm doing. Okay.
Right.
Hey, okay.
You look at the window. You can see everything moving in the back. You can see it moving.
I can see though. That's the difference between me and you, though.
Listen,
McDonald with vet inside, or
no? I'm more concerned with the fact that he's not got any heating in his car. This is what worries me.
Hey, look! If I can text and drive and still be in a podcast, Anthony should be capable. Well, I mean,
it's Rokk. It's really warm today. It's 61 degrees where I'm at right now. It's like
for then. What do you need
it was because
he's old.
No, because this morning it was this morning it was 31 degrees.
The hair's going,
but,
so that goes
on.
I
don't know.
That's what happens when you're old. I mean,
hey, listen, don't be hat shaming me, all right?
I was 18.
Shame.
Yeah, fair point.
Another world going back. I mean, shame. Game of Thrones is a world we haven't seen that explored that much in games.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like a Skyrim set in Westeros. Why not?
We've had the Telltale games. That's about it for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Doesn't really count.
And mobile games. There's mobile
they're
games
good
also.
games. Easy platinum.
For me, also, I gotta say, for all the parents and honestly non-parents as well, Bluey. I want a Bluey game.
I knew you were gonna say that for some reason because I see you mention it.
I love Bluey.
Yeah.
Best.
Bluey's like fourth most watched show on Netflix or something.
Yeah. On Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. It's
I've never seen it. I went to Bluey in my day. It was a porn movie. I don't know.
Guys, I'll be right back. My wife got a call.
Also an Australian detective show, which is why my dad was called Bluey for years.
Oh my god, I love how we go from this cute Disney cartoon to Rock being like, yo, I watched it was a porn. I'm supposed to be completely
I can't go anywhere with you guys.
Hey, this is the point of the night. It normally goes downhill, and normally directed at Ray, so you know he's getting off scot-free this week.
Actually, the moment this stream goes live and people see, if they see me and Rokk on the show, they already know what they're going to get.
They know what they're in for.
There's no serious.
Yep.
The seriousness of the show is gone.
Yeah.
Oh man,
What happened to Ant? Where did he go?
I'm assuming for a no signal zone.
Phone call from his wife.
Is he wrapped around a tree or something?
No, the officer said he needed to go.
You see, it always confuses me because obviously he's sitting on the left, and for us, that's the passenger seat.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's fine. Why are you all bothered about this? And then realize, wait, they drive on the wrong side over there.
Yeah.
No, you guys drive on the wrong side. I love the UK guys who drive on the wrong side.
You guys drive.
Look, we drive on the right side of the road. Come on.
He's got
Everyone else in
Fisher
the world,
Fisher Price.
except the UK, who drives on the other side.
Stuck to the window.
oh my gosh.
I'm just pissed off more than half the panel. It was great.
Yeah.
Any other game worlds you guys want to explore?
I'm not so sure about Game of Thrones, to be honest, and there's a lot of games around that kind of in that space. When is Amazon bringing out the Lord of the Rings game?
Good question.
Because that's going to get fairly close to Game of Thrones, isn't it? I mean, I know it's not. I know it's not the same.
Yeah,
Most of the Lord of the Rings ones we've had have been fairly close anyway, especially the Shadow of ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor.
They're great games.
The Return of the King action game, like the movie tie-in game, that was great.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Actually,
Battle for Middle Earth 1 and 2, both amazing.
Yeah, they had some good games, like even the GameCube ones, like with the two towers and all of that. They were really good.
And then there was this also basically a like Final Fantasy clone, but with Lord of the Rings. Was that on consoles?
Oh my god, the Third Age, I think it's called.
Yeah, Third Age. That was good.
Third Age. That sounds like a shit.
The Third Age. Oh, can't bring you two anywhere.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'd expect that if we had an Irish person on here, but you go for the poor Canadian.
I know.
Yeah.
The nicest. This is cruel, man.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, speaking of like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars is another one. Like I left. Well, I mean, but then it's the same, right? There's like Jedi Falling Order. That's amazing. And so many other games.
We've got some Star Wars ones. Star Trek is lacking, as Purple brought up before.
There's enough Star Wars games. We need more Star Trek. We all know.
Oh,
Star
Star Trek's a great shout.
Star
clearly,
Trek Bridge Crew is great, but you do need VR for it.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in general.
The online mobile game is superb. Like,
although
just get into that.
If you are gonna play, if you're gonna play a Star Trek game like Bridge Crew and don't have VR, just like there's an open source one called Empty Epsilon. Basically, you need to be you should be gathered in the same location.
VR like that.
Oh wow!
Like that, yeah.
yeah. But like, if you don't want to go VR, there's something called Empty Epsilon, which essentially is everyone uses any like mobile screen, tablet screen, laptop screen, whatever they have, and you have your control panels that you have in so you basically take the control panels from Bridge Crew. And they have a
Ray's always waving his wand about. Have you noticed this?
At least he's not waving his black nut.
Hey!
No.
Oh my god!
Oh no! There you go.
Oh my god!
That's the weekly shout out to that service.
I'm saying I would like if there was a good open world Star Trek game, I would play that any day over anything that's Star Wars.
I would take a Star Trek game in the vein of Eve if we could have like that sort of massive open universe type Star Trek game. Right. I would be all in.
Star Trek's clearly superior to Star Wars, anyways.
Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Star Wars is fantasy. Star Trek is
don't shake your head. We all know that Star Trek is the superior.
I agree with Vet on this one. Yeah.
There is one very big reason. Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also,
I mean, what other reason do you need?
Yeah.
I want to see a Battlestar Galactica game. There have been a few, but I want to see like a proper big title.
A good one, yeah.
I'll go back. I'd
The
say,
remake.
what about like a Stargate? For those that remember Stargate SG-1
Oh
and
no,
all
because
that.
if the guy won an award that's in Stargate, you'd never get him off the stage.
That's just one of them. That's just Chris Judge. If you throw like the rest of the crew, oh my days!
Oh wow, you'd be there for a
season
month.
worth of acceptance speeches.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the one that I want. I preach this all the time. Is I want a Back to the Future open world game.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Doctor Who.
Who?
That
Doctor
too.
Who.
That's
Who?
them.
Doctor Who?
I thought you were gonna say Doctor Who.
That's what I'm asking. Doctor Who?
We've got the new Doctor coming, but not till next year. They're not introducing the new
Oh
one.
my God! Nobody got that reference to what I was saying.
We did. We just
ignored
didn't
you.
want to humor you, mate.
Wow. You know what? You can stare at my.
Man, Dorgan's on the roll
we got
today.
the vet back now. There we go. All creatures great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I thought that was pretty funny.
What about an existing game that would benefit from being in an open world?
I don't think that's a great move for most games.
Cactus had a good one here. Final Fantasy VII. Maybe so the way Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 ends was when you leave Midgard. And the thing is, the game becomes open world in the original PlayStation 1 when you leave Midgard. So maybe we'll be seeing the second game more open world like he'd like to. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It would fit. It
Might
would
be
work.
Yeah. See, I quite like it in God of War Ragnarok. There's a couple of areas that you can roam around freestyle and you know, no spoilers, and you know what I'm talking about, Dorogon.
Yep.
So you can, kind of solve different puzzles and things and just discover them. And I really like that. Better than the normal kind of linear fashion in the game itself, where you just have to keep following the paths. So I'd like to see more of that in with the amazing graphics and the story in the mocap of God of War, but with a more open world sort of expansion as well. I think that would be really cool.
I like the demi-open world, so it's not like fully open, because I don't think that suits
which they are
franchise.
Aren't they?
Yeah. But if you take something that's linear, like the old God of Wars were, I played God of War 3 last year, and brilliant level design, brilliant reuse of assets and such, but the linearness of it, especially coming from having played 2018 last year as well, it was massive shock to the system. And taking some of those more linear experiences, like if PlayStation, for example, do a new Uncharted and gave it demi-open world areas like they did in Lost Legacy, that worked really well. They had this initial area where you were treasure hunting, and it was all open in that area, and then it went into the more traditional linear routes and story-driven content that Uncharted does, and that sort of demi-open world works for those sort of very narrative-driven experiences.
Yeah. It also makes a lot of sense from I think a writing standpoint, because I was listening to Play Watch Listen this week, and they got into this topic of writing for video games, and like a lot of time whenever they write something, it's like, but why is this happening in the story? It's like, the reason is because we need the player to be here so that they can go through this narrow passage, so we can get them into the next area and offload the old part from the engine and load in the new part. Like, that's why we wrote that these characters needed to go here. The only reason, because we needed the player to go there for technical reasons.
Putting some open world concept on a narrative game must be super hard to develop. I can imagine that it could be very hard.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, I think we need to wrap it up. Although I think Purple might have an interesting. I don't know if that was an interesting question, or if she has an interesting question coming. Well, but we might be to go for a couple of minutes longer if she has one coming. But I need to wrap up because I have a stream to do before
I've got 2% on my battery left, so this is perfect timing.
Perfect timing, awesome.
Yeah, I've tagged down to about 20. Yeah.
My son
so guys,
he's got to do a PowerPoint. I got to help him with.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, so everyone needs to leave. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So guys, before we do, what do you have going on? Dorogon, let's start with you.
I'm still hiding behind my sofa from that GeForce Now video I put out last week. The angry mob has come. So, when the pitchforks have disappeared a bit, I'll maybe raise above the parapet.
That video was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Love the new avatar, Demi. Very nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in that lull between content, so just watch the other guys for the mo.
Vet, what's going on with you?
Either tomorrow or Monday, I'll be doing a first look at Hogwarts Legacy. I might have something pop up streaming today. I don't know what it'll be. It's probably something random. Otherwise, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so nothing until next week.
Yeah. Rokk, let's go with you.
Well, tomorrow, let me see. Rokk Around the Clock. Monday, Rokk Around the Clock.
Tomorrow, Hogwarts drawing.
Yes, the draw. Yep, the draw for
Draw for the
Hogwarts
winners,
tomorrow.
Hogwarts.
Absolutely. Actually, just a quick shout out for Demi. There's GeForce Now are doing a competition on Twitter. All you have to do is put up a screenshot of your favorite place in a game, and I'm thinking with all the amazing photos and stuff you've got, all the you could
Yeah,
win,
she will win that. No, her hands down.
you can win a widescreen monitor. So definitely look out for that. GeForce Now on Twitter. Get one of just choose some of your favorite pictures. Put them in. I reckon you'd be in for a really good shout for that one.
Definitely.
But all the usual things for me. I mean,
Ray, what's happening with you?
I will be studying my witchcraft tonight. I think Lo-Fi I think Lo-Fi asked me to be on the mothership with him, so I will hop on the mothership with him tonight. And Saturday I do my Rec Fest on xCloud, and then Sunday GeForce. Shout out to GeForce, Dorgon. And I'll be doing my GeForce Now stream. So that's what I got up.
Are you inviting Dorgon to your GeForce Now stream?
No, I'm just messing. You know what? Hey, to each their own. Everybody has the right to their own perceptions on stuff. So just respect.
Rokk, hit the raise price.
Don't
thing.
try and
Just
kill
smile
him.
up
Don't kill him. Don't go after Dorgon. That's his opinion.
what we needed.
That's his opinion. Everybody has the right to their opinion.
Yeah.
Don't kill him. But there you
Ninja,
go.
what's been happening in your place?
So I'm pretty much on a schedule. Every weekday at 6:30 for an hour, I just do streams of games that I feel like streaming. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably be streaming some Baldur's Gate 3. So really, some nice news with GeForce Now. So I'll probably be looking.
You stream at 6:30 a.m. your time?
Well, it's 7:30 a.m. my time, but where I live, Eastern time is King time, so that's why I always use Eastern time. Yeah, it's
like 11 a.m. over here.
Lunchtime.
Works. But...
That's I catch all of my UK streamer on my stream for sure, including you, Dargon. So thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate that, and I need to keep up with your stuff, man. Like I haven't been keeping up, or maybe not. I don't know. We're talking about GeForce Now out there, and maybe I shouldn't. But
just don't bring the pitchfork, please.
Yeah, exactly. Before I start, I just want to say every Friday I have my iTie show. It's called Indie Time Interview Edition, where I interview indie developers, and we learn about new games and stuff like that. So that's what my channel is focused on, and I want to make sure that
Is it raining where Ant is, or is he driving over a bunch of lemons?
I was going to say, what on earth is he driving over?
No, Anthony, you might need to check your engine, or turn the radio down, or you have a flat tire.
I'm on the highway, man.
Is that concrete?
I'm on the road to guide you on the road, not to run over him.
He's on highway to heaven. He's taking out all the business.
No, it's okay. He's in Jersey on the highway. That says enough. You don't even have to explain. We understand.
New Jersey on the highway.
Nice.
With his Fisher Price steering wheel.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell you guys, my wife was calling me, so I had to go real quick.
Dude.
I know we were trying to end before you got back on.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Whoops.
Ant, what's happening with you this week? What do you have going on?
Man, I'm really excited about this wrestling league I started, man. I gotta keep bringing that up. Just wanted to mention it real quick. Holtz is like a new person. He just trash everybody. It's amazing. But it's something cool I'm doing on Wednesdays. I call it We Wrestle Wednesdays, and there's a lot of stuff going on my channel. But I really want people to tune in and check it out. These guys are like coming together. We're having matches for belts we kind of make up, and it's just amazing to see these guys get together and trash talk each other, and then it's all love, and like it's just so cool because it's something I did outside of this world with my family for many years, and I'm just proud about it. But yeah, man, guys, check out the channels. Now your mama knows. Today is gonna be cool. I'm just gonna play games and let people challenge me and whatever they want, and so you could just tune in and say, play this game and challenge me, and we're gonna also chat about stuff. So
Nice.
good stuff.
I might join in. That sounds fun.
Because I want to play you in Mortal Kombat.
Man, I might be rusty. I haven't played in a while.
I was waiting. It was either going to be
Played it
Mortal Kombat or Pac-Man. Somebody's going to challenge you.
I will be
Ninja, show up.
Yeah, sounds good.
As for myself, I will be right after this show actually doing this. I'll be streaming Hitman for the. I've played. I'm not gonna say it's the first time I played because I've played it one time before when it launched on Stadia for like 2 hours. I'm like, this is cool. I should get into this, and then I never played it again. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm jumping straight in and just gonna.
Bjorn, one bit of advice. One bit of advice.
Good.
If you see the banana, pick it up and use it.
Of course I am. It's gonna be like jump in chat and laugh at my failures. That's pretty much the setup for tonight. It's gonna be great. And after that, I'm heading to bed because it's 11 p.m. here, so I'm gonna stream for maybe like an hour. Other than that, I have a key for a game that I'm hoping I'm going away this weekend, so maybe sometime during next week I'll squeeze in a game called Showrunner, which is a management sim where you basically come up with TV shows. So you like the showrunner TV shows. Feels like
right up my alley.
So yeah, it's an indie game that I'm checking out later, maybe sometime next week, I hope. And then obviously Hogwarts, gonna check that out. Baldur's Gate, and I also got a video of Boosteroid, and yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, and also the big charity events that I think a lot of people here is gonna be streaming on. So don't miss that for the world, because you'll be able to win a lot of games. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks to all the guests for joining. I will take a short break and then we go live on my channel. And these guys are gonna go about their days. And I love you all. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Later
You
on.
guys.
All right.